Hey my friends, this is Daniel Aldie, and today I want to talk with you about mental health. I think it's a very important subject to cover because recently I've been seeing a lot of things happening. In America, there's been a lot of shootings. Internationally, there's a lot of wars. There's a lot of problems that are infecting people all around the globe. And I want to talk with you about the singular way to solve these problems, and it all starts with mental, spiritual, and emotional health. Now, before I begin, I have to give you some context because I know a lot of people have different ways of how they handle mental health issues. So for me, what I'm about to share with you is actually coming from the Bible. And one of the biggest things that I want to tell you is that mental health is actually not a real concern. And a lot of times people don't understand where mental health issues come from, including believers. But today I want to break it down. I want to help you understand exactly how it works. I believe that all mental health issues start from within. And whatever comes from within is usually what comes from sin. Now, sin happens in many different ways, right? It could be the sin of lust. It could be the sin of complaining. It could be the sin of gossiping. But one of the greatest sins that lead to mental health problems is worrying. Now, worrying happens in different forms. Worrying can happen in the form of anxiety. Worrying can happen in the form of financial difficulty. Worrying can happen from anything. It can happen because of the way you feel about your health. It can happen because of the way you feel about your government. It can happen because of how you see your industry developing. There's so many different ways that people worry. But one of the greatest ways that people worry is about themselves. There's so many people that are worried about themselves that they end up taking out their problems on other people. And that is where I believe that mental health problems begin. Because if you personally feel that you can't handle the problems among you or around you, then that's gonna drive you crazy, right? For example, let's say you see someone on social media, you admire them, they're your age, they're doing well. Sometimes you might even think they're doing better than you. All of a sudden you naturally compare, and then what begins to happen is that you think about your own life. You start to worry about what you're doing. You start to question yourself. You start to doubt your abilities. You start to challenge yourself and say, why can't I be like the person I saw online? And as you can see, that's one form of worrying, because what you're doing is you're looking at their highlights, but you're not seeing their lowlights. And you're comparing your lowlights to their highlights. Or let's talk about the government. Maybe you're paying a lot of taxes, tens of thousands of dollars a year, and all of a sudden you see how they're spending your money. You know that's way beyond your control, but you take the burden upon yourself and you worry. You pass on those worries to others by explaining what you're seeing on the news. And that's exactly what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to waste time comparing yourself to others. He wants you to spend time gossiping about the government. He wants you to thoroughly focus on the things that you have no control over. That is where I believe mental health problems come from. Now, there's a lot of different things I could talk about, right? I could talk about pornography, right? Because millions of people are watching porn every single day, and they're married. And maybe they're looking at what is being performed on the screen, and by the time they get into their bed sheets, they can't do that with their husband or their wife. And they start to worry. They start to complain. They start to become convinced that they have to move on in their relationship. You see, my friends, this worry, this concern, this doubt can happen in many forms. It can happen sexually, it can happen romantically, it can happen financially, it can happen governmentally, it can happen physically, it can happen emotionally. And when you start to take these concerns upon yourself, you internalize it and it begins to burn. But you see, my friends, in the scriptures, Jesus Christ gives us the cure. He says, cast your burdens onto him and he will help you. One of the most important verses I want to share with you today is Luke 12:31. He says, if you put the kingdom of heaven first, then all things will be added unto you. Not some things, not most things, all things. So if you're thinking about the government, right, and you don't like how they're spending your money, all things will be mastered. If you're thinking about what you see on pornography and you're thinking, man, I can never do that with my husband and my wife, all things can be handled. If you see someone prospering or succeeding in business or driving a car that you like, and you're worried about that situation, cast your burden onto God and he will give you all things to match up with the desires of your heart. So all I'm saying is this: cut out the envy, cut out the pride, the lying, the cheating, the stealing, the manipulation, the deception, Everything you see online that doesn't align with who you need to be needs to be evaporated. What you need to do is to cancel the things that have been holding you back and put God first so you can step forward. So let me give you some examples. Instead of spending 3 hours on social media, spend 3 hours on reading the scriptures. Instead of spending a weekend running away, spend a weekend journaling, praying, reading, studying, practicing your craft, and doing everything you can to get closer to the Almighty. You see, if you put the kingdom of heaven first, things will be fun. Some people might think, man, Daniel, this is all good, right? It seems like a pristine lifestyle. You seem to be perfect with what you're saying. And I am. Because the fact is that if you do everything the right way, then God is going to be on your side. You see, when you work with God, He will always work with you. When you tell Him your plans, your visions, your goals, your dreams, He's going to help you manifest it. He's going to give you exactly what it is that you were divinely designed to have. It will not be given to someone else. It will not be taken away. You will not lose it. You will have everything that you ever wanted if you put God first in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. Because that is the greatest way to accomplish your greatest goals. My friends, today I just shared with you how to deal with mental health from a biblical perspective. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to type yes in the comment section below and share this video with someone else who really needs it. My friends, this is Daniel Aldie. If you have any questions, please write me an email at info@danielaldie.com. I look forward to your success, I look forward to your prosperity, and of course, I look forward to all the things that you do for humanity. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.